For decades, we've seen our favorite Jedi Masters show up after death, shimmering, blue, and full of wisdom. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, Anakin Skywalker. It's one of the most iconic parts of Star Wars, and it's easy to think it's just the final reward for a life serving the light side. But that's not the whole story. The truth is, most Jedi, even some of the most powerful masters in the Order's history, never got this ability. Their identities just dissolved back into the Force and lost forever. Becoming a Force ghost isn't some automatic prize. It's a secret, powerful technique that the Jedi Order itself had almost completely forgotten. Today, we're going to break down the truth about why your favorite Jedi Master probably never became a Force ghost. First, let's clear up a huge misconception. When any living thing dies, its energy goes back to the Force. For most beings, that's it. For a Jedi, it's a little different. They spend their lives trying to be in harmony with the living Force, and when they die, they become one with the cosmic Force. Their individual self, their memories, their personality, it all just dissolves. Think of it like a drop of water returning to the ocean. This is the natural way of things, a peaceful end to a Jedi's journey. The shimmering blue figures we see are the massive exception, not the rule. They've learned an incredible skill, how to retain their identity, their self, even after becoming one with everything. This isn't a gift. It's an advanced technique that has to be learned while still alive. And for the Jedi of the late Republic, that knowledge was a lost art. So, if this was a Jedi technique, why didn't masters like Mace Windu or Kit Fisto learn it? Because by the time of the Clone Wars, almost no one in the Order knew how. The knowledge had faded into myth. It took a Jedi Master who often disagreed with the Council, one who trusted the will of the living Force above all else, to find this path again. That Jedi was Qui-Gon Jinn. Through his deep connection to the Force, Qui-Gon made contact with ancient beings known as the Force Priestesses. They agreed to teach him the secret to retaining consciousness after death. But the training was long, and before he could finish it, he was killed by Darth Maul on Naboo. Because his training was incomplete, something different had happened. His body didn't vanish, and he couldn't appear as a shimmering ghost. He had learned enough to preserve his consciousness, but not enough to manifest physically. At first, he could only be a disembodied voice, a power he continued to train, even after death. This brings us to our second point, Yoda. Guided by Qui-Gon's voice near the end of the Clone Wars, Yoda went on his own journey to learn this secret. The Force Priestesses tested him, not just on his power, but on his ability to let go of his pride and his fear of failure. The main lesson was one of absolute selflessness. To become a Force ghost, a Jedi has to release their attachments and ego. It's a state that can only be achieved by those who truly serve the light, without any desire for personal gain. Yoda passed the trials, and in turn, he promised to teach Obi-Wan Kenobi, creating a direct lineage of this secret knowledge. Now, this brings up a big question. If the goal is a type of immortality, isn't that what the Sith always wanted? So why can't a Sith Lord become a Force ghost? The answer is in that core philosophy. A Jedi gets there through selflessness. The Sith are all about selfishness. Their entire belief system is built on clinging to power and fearing death. They can't let go of their ego because their ego is all they have. The love and compassion needed to become one with the Force while keeping your identity is something they can never understand. So, can a Sith live on after death? In a twisted way, yes. While a Jedi spirit is free, a Sith spirit is often a prisoner of its own hatred. Unable to become one with the Force in the same way, their dark side energy can cling to the physical world, binding their spirit to a tomb, a mask, or a holocron. They don't become wise guides, they become a curse, an echo of pain trapped by their own anger. When Yoda saw an apparition of Darth Bane on the Sith world Moraband, it wasn't a true ghost. It was an illusion created by the Force Priestesses as part of his test, a phantom built from the dark side energy left behind. But that leads to the biggest question of all. What about Anakin Skywalker? He was Darth Vader for decades, and he never went through the training. Yet at the end of Return of the Jedi, he's standing right there, next to Yoda and Obi-Wan. How is that possible? Anakin is the exception that proves the rule. As Darth Vader, consumed by hate, he could never have become a Force ghost. But in his final moments, he made a purely selfless choice to save his son, completely rejecting the Sith way. That act of redemption opened the door. His unique status as the Chosen One, conceived by the Force itself, also likely played a major role. While some legend stories suggested Obi-Wan and Yoda formally trained his spirit after death, canon sources indicate it was his redemption, his power as the Chosen One, and some guidance from his former masters that allowed him to retain his identity. And why does he appear as his younger self? George Lucas explained this was to show Anakin as he was before he fell to the dark side, the true Jedi Knight, finally restored and free from Vader's corruption. Finally, this secret knowledge explains why so many other Jedi are missing from the spirit world. Masters like Mace Windu died before Yoda had even finished his own training, so there was no one to teach them. Even a hero like Kanan Jarrus didn't become a Force ghost in the traditional sense. His final sacrifice was a powerful act of becoming one with the Force, and his will was so strong it could manifest through the great Loth wolf known as Doom. But this was a different, wilder expression of the Force, not the specific, learned skill of retaining an individual consciousness. His voice was later heard by Rey on Exegol, but this was a call through the Force, not the return of an independent spirit. So, becoming a Force ghost isn't a default setting. It's the peak of a spiritual discipline that requires secret knowledge and total selflessness. Most Jedi lived and died honorably, their energy returning to the cosmic ocean. Only a select few learned how to become the rain that could fall again. Which Jedi do you wish could have come back as a Force ghost? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. And as always, may the Force be with you.